Today's My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by GymAware, the leading tool when measuring performance in the weight room. Guys, VBT is all the craze right now. It's a hot, sexy topic, although it's something that's been around for a while. And the man who wrote the book on velocity-based training, Brian Mann, has called the GymAware the Rolls Royce when it comes to velocity measuring devices. Guys, the ability for you to shoot all your information right up into the cloud and store it right away is enough for me right there to make sure that this is something that I had in my weight room. Putting things together with instant feedback as to how the reps are being performed. On top of that, with the x-axis correction, so you don't have to necessarily worry about direct positioning when you're performing the exercises. Tying that in with the visualization of everything and the ability to allow the athletes to compete. Make this an absolutely stellar tool and something I couldn't recommend you having in your weight room enough. Hop on over to kinetic.com.au today and see everything that they have to offer. Hey everybody, if you enjoy the podcast and the content it provides, be sure to hop over and check out the community. The community is an exclusive members website that is just an extension of what we do here in July at the Central Virginia Sport Performance Seminar. What it is a combination of video lectures, a coach's corner with your Monday morning take-home information, and a forum where you can talk about anything and everything related to the field of strength and conditioning. In the community, you'll find content added each month from some of the top practitioners in the world, ranging from PhDs to high-level coaches, bringing you exactly what they're doing with their athletes or their research at the present moment. On top of that, an additional discussion by coaches bringing you that Monday morning information, things that you can add to your training program right away. Tying that in with the opportunity to discuss with coaches around the world in the forum on anything and everything from the topics addressed in these presentations to whatever you're seeing in your daily life as a coach. If this sounds like the right thing for you and your staff, go ahead and hop over to cvasps.com/community and try it out for 48 hours for just $1. If you like it, you're signed up, ready to roll, and you're jumping into all the great content added each month. If not, feel free to go ahead and cancel at any time. No questions asked. We're really excited about what we're building in the community and hope you are too. Go ahead and hop over to cvasps.com/community and check it out today. Hey guys, what's happening? DeMayo coming at you with this week's My Thoughts Monday. Again, sharing a conversation that we have been having quite often in our office down there in the basement. And a lot of this stems from the topics of conversation that Bob Alejo has had for a little bit here, and that is the evaluation of our profession and what our roles are in that. Now, I think it's pretty fair to say for most of us that if you were to take a step back and answer two questions, the first being, does your administration understand what specific skill set you possess as a coach and how you could be utilized better to increase the outputs and performances or whatever it may be within your department? And do the coaching staff and administration actually understand the role of the strength and conditioning coach and how you can become a better asset to what they're doing? I think more often than not, the answer to both of those would probably be no. So I ask you and say that to ask you this question. Whose fault is that? Is it their fault? Is it their fault because they work with you and they send their student athletes to you and they're going there to lift or run or do whatever and they don't understand what is going on or why it's being done? These questionnaire things or readiness or heart rate or GPS, whatever you're doing, they don't understand why it's being done. Is that their fault? Is it the administration's fault that they don't know how to quantify our position? They don't know how to evaluate our position. They don't know what we really do in our position, let alone the specific skill sets we may have because they hired us. Is that their fault? Or is it our fault? Is it our fault that we haven't done that we haven't informed them, that we haven't opened those lines of communication and educated them? We talk about all the time about giving back and, passing information down and moving things forward to drive the profession forward, but maybe we should be doing more educating in-house um, to drive ourselves forward so that people understand what we can do. You know, understanding what your specific skill set is and what you can provide for someone is one thing, but if they don't understand it and they don't understand A, what the skill set is, or B, how it can be of value, how is it in any way, shape, or form their fault when they look at it and they're like, no, I don't want that. Or, no, this isn't important. Now, how can we do better with that? That's obviously the $1 million question. A couple things that we've started to do. Um, One is, if you've noticed, there's been a couple of posts recently about things that we're actually doing with student athletes at our institution. Um, and that hasn't been something that I've done in the past, but it's something I'm starting to do because I think that first and foremost, it'll allow coaches to see things that we're doing so that they can then, A, understand the generalities of it, and B, ask questions necessary so that we can move that forward. And it has led to some discussion with student athletes and with coaches and with other people on staff, including sports medicine people, as to what we're looking at and why we're looking at it and things of that nature. The second is, for other coaches, other strength and conditioning coaches. Because if you're doing something similar and you don't have a resource out, or you don't have a presentation or infographic or whatever for what is going on, and you see that we put something out and this is how we're using it, well, that's an easy share. That's an easy pass along, Hey, remember I was telling you about how we're doing this stuff with X or Y or these evaluations or whatever? Well, check this post out. Okay, this is Jay. He's doing this. This is the exact reason why we're doing it too. Take a look, 2 minutes, whatever, and then let's talk about it. Whether it leads to the discussion or not, they now have a piece of information that they can look at. The other thing that we're talking about doing and really hoping to move forward with is some sort of bi-weekly form of communication, whether that be an email or, a possible 30-minute in-house every now and then where we're talking about things. It doesn't take long to build an infographic. It doesn't take long to write a couple paragraphs about, hey, this is why we're using this machine. This is why we're using this piece of technology. This is why we're implementing this type of training, because it provides X, Y, or Z to do this. Now all of a sudden the coaches have something in front of them. The administration has something in front of them that now helps them understand, oh, wait a minute, it's not just a bunch of exercises thrown together and this and that and just, things being just thrown on the wall and seeing what sticks, right? There's way more to it than that. So I guess that's kind of the new challenge, because we talk all the time about the need to, drive the profession forward, the need to push on and to find better things. I think there's some people doing a really awesome job with that. I think over the past 10 years, we have really gone forward quite a bit as a profession. And it's really been fascinating to watch this kind of evolution of what we do as strength and conditioning coaches. But we still do not do good enough of a job of communicating what we do to the people that are around us. We don't. And that's just period. We pride ourselves on being in this grind all day, work hard, constantly educating ourselves group. But if all we're doing is educating ourselves and not passing that on to the people around us, how is that any different than this whole idea of needing to pass things on within the profession? With all that being said, I think it just comes down to this. We need to take more of a leadership role when it comes to educating the people that we are around. We need to be able to step in front of people and talk to all of them or find a means to communicate to them where they're able to take in bits of information to have a better understanding of what we do, what we can provide, where we can move forward, and what we can do better for them in order for us to move forward. The minute we start doing that, then I think a lot of these other complaints, if this doesn't change things, become exponentially more valid. But until we're able to actually take a step back and say, we've done everything we can to educate the people around us as to how we can help, then I really just think that we're just, we're kind of pissing in the wind. Because if we're just going to sit here and be like, well, they don't know and they don't care, but if they don't know, why should they care? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try our best to continue to educate people better. We're going to continue to try to find better ways to communicate these things to our coaches and to coaching staffs around the country through different mediums. And I'm going to share all that because I don't have anything to hide. And I hope that you guys will too. So if you have any ideas, thoughts, comments, better ways that we can communicate these things to coaches, or things that we're totally missing the boat on in this topic, let us know. Share it. Put it out there. Because the best thing that we can do is to increase conversation between coaches, as in strength and conditioning coaches, to increase that conversation between our sport coaches and administration so that it can help each other increase those conversations as well. Hopefully once that cycle gets rolling, then we start picking up steam. As always, guys, thanks for everything you do for us here at Central Virginia Sport Performance. We'll be back next week with another My Thoughts Monday. See you then.